Weber for an opening statement.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and congratulations, I think, on getting appointed to this committee. You may have second thoughts about it after a while, but we're glad you're here. We appreciate you hosting this hearing, and thank you, Dr. Fall, for being here this afternoon. I'm excited to hear about the critical work being performed at the Department of Energy, DOE's Office of Science. As we know, DOE is the largest federal sponsor of basic research in the physical sciences. This committee's jurisdiction includes all of DOE's civilian research, including almost $13 billion with a B, in research, development, demonstration, and commercial application programs, as well as the department's 17 national labs, which amounts to about 1/3 of DOE's total budget. As ranking member of the Energy Subcommittee, I take great pride in this responsibility, and I believe that one of the most important pieces, if not the most important piece of our portfolio, is the DOE Office of Science. That's why I'm a little surprised, quite frankly, that this Congress, this is the first hearing we've had held on this agency, especially since the Office of Science is a $7 billion with a B program that represents actually more than half of this subcommittee's jurisdiction. Instead, last year we had many hearings on advanced renewable energy technologies, from solar and wind to sustainable transportation to geothermal and hydropower. Now, while I'm very supportive of these technologies, I think we can all agree that there's one key weakness that they have in common, one that industry will never address. In order for these technologies to truly provide reliable and affordable grid-scale electricity across these United States, they will require access to next-generation energy storage materials and technologies. To meet this need, strong and strategic support for basic research in material science and computing through the Office of Science is absolutely critical. And that's just one example of the importance of this agency's work. In the past few decades, research conducted through the Office of Science has led to monumental discoveries in material science, in computing, in fundamental physics, and biological sciences, and has enabled the development of innovative energy technology. Each DOE lab has made invaluable contributions to U.S. scientific progress, and they have repeatedly demonstrated that basic science research is the most effective way to encourage that innovation. Additionally, the unique open access user facilities at these Office of Science labs provides our nation researchers with the most cutting-edge tools of modern science, like advanced light sources, particle accelerators, and the 2 fastest supercomputers in the entire world. Each year, thousands of researchers from academia, other federal agencies, and U.S. industry partners, from Fortune 500 companies to even small businesses, rely on those DOE facilities to perform new scientific research and develop those new technologies. Thanks to the Office of Science and its decades of excellent work, the United States is the world leader in basic science research and technological development. But even as we speak, other countries, for example, China, are making significant investments in science and threatening our global leadership. The department's continued investment in basic and early stage research is vital, absolutely vital to the maintenance of our technological edge. By investing wisely in this research, the department can achieve its goal of scientific discovery and technological breakthrough for our future generations. DOE must also invest in facility upgrades and basic infrastructure that attracts and retains the best scientists in the world right here at home. I look forward to hearing from Dr. Fall about his plans to address these issues. I also look forward to hearing from Dr. Fall about DOE's ongoing implementation of several key pieces of bipartisan Science Committee legislation that was signed into law in last Congress, in fact, including the DOE Research and Innovation Act and the National Quantum Initiative Act. When basic research is the priority of federal support, everyone has the opportunity to access these fundamental knowledge that can lead to the development of those future energy technologies. I'd like to take a moment to thank my friends across the aisle for holding this hearing. I'm pleased to see especially with our new chairman, I'm pleased to see that we're starting off the new year on the right foot by focusing on this key aspect of our jurisdiction. I'm going to thank Dr. Fall for being here today, and a point of personal privilege, if I may, Madam Chair. It turns out that there's a bit of sadness here today because we are losing one Miss Emily Domenech, who is sitting behind me. She has been with our part of the committee for a long time. She keeps us on the straight and narrow, and that's a full-time job. So let's give her a hand. Can we recognize her help? And with that, Madam Chair, she's read, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. And I would now like to recognize Mr. Lucas for an opening statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And today we welcome Dr. Chris Fall, the Director of the Department of Energy's Office of Science, to discuss the program's priorities for fiscal year 2020 and beyond. Before he joined the Office of Science in 2019, Dr. Fall served as the Acting Director of the Advanced Research Project Agency's Energy, ARPA-E, near and dear to many of our hearts. These are two DOE programs where I'm pleased to say the Science Committee has found a lot of bipartisan agreement over the years. I look forward to carrying on that tradition this Congress, and I would like to thank Dr. Fall for his work. DOE is a world leader in technology development and scientific innovation. Through the Office of Science, the department funds robust research programs across the scientific disciplines, from material science and mathematical modeling to fusion energy science and the study of neutrinos. Discoveries made through the Office of Science are the force behind the development of next-generation energy technologies. They are the cornerstone of our clean energy future. If we are serious about the climate issues we discussed this morning, then we should equally be serious about our support for this agency and bold investments in basic research. The Science Committee has jurisdiction over all of the Office of Science Research and Development activities and its 10 DOE national laboratories, which totals $7 billion in annual spending at DOE. This afternoon, our discussion with Dr. Fall will focus on the programs within this critical jurisdiction. This committee has consistently supported robust funding for the Office of Science. In particular, its basic energy sciences, high-energy physics, advanced scientific computing research, and fusion energy sciences programs have long received bipartisan support from this committee. For example, committee members on both sides of the aisle have steadily supported full funding for the U.S. contributions to ITER, a high-priority fusion energy experiment funded through the Office of Science. I was pleased to see that fiscal year 2020 appropriations package included enough funding to maintain our participation in this world-leading international research collaboration. Fusion is the next generation scientific frontier, and with the potential to produce near limitless zero-emission power for centuries. Another one of our great areas of bipartisan agreement is the Advanced Scientific Computing Research Program, one of the Science Office's top priority programs. OSCAR supports the department's goal of completing the world's first X-scale computing system. X-scale systems will perform 1 billion calculations per second, and developing one is critical to enabling scientific discovery, strengthening national security, and promoting U.S. industrial competitiveness, thanks to DOE's targeted investments. The United States now hosts the top 2 fastest supercomputers in the world, Summit at Oak Ridge National Laboratory and Sierra at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. And the department is on track to reach X-scale by 2021. As other countries like China race to develop X-scale systems of their own, DoD's continued strong support of advanced computing is essential to the maintenance of U.S. leadership in this field. In order to support innovation in the next generation science, DOE must also invest in research infrastructure and cross-cutting research initiatives with other federal agencies. This includes Office of Science initiatives in critical research areas like quantum information science and artificial intelligence, as well as key investments in our nation's light resources and neutron resources. I want to thank Chairwoman Fletcher for holding this hearing and Dr. Fall for his testimony today. I look forward to a productive and valuable discussion. Our twin goals of addressing today's climate challenges with affordable, reliable, clean energy solutions and ensuring that the United States maintains a world leader in science and energy technology for years to come, while we continue our shared commitment to prioritize basic research supported by this critical agency. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lucas, for that opening